Did you know there are 7 types of ADHD? Did you know that none of them require medication? None of them. And most people, when we look at the brain and we look at symptoms, most people have multiple types. I've worked with over 10,000 people and I've trained over 20,000 practitioners. I've never met someone who just had one type of ADHD. And it's because, if you identify with being neurodivergent or neurospicy, you know that you're different. And then I remind you that you're a 1 in a trillion miracle. You have over 1 trillion known connections in your brain. And we aren't even going to talk about your heart consciousness, which is a whole other thing. But when we look at the brain and we look at your symptoms of ADHD, you have multiple types. There are multiple areas of your brain that are really overactive and we don't want overactive. And there are areas of your brain that are really underactive that we really want to be overactive. We want to be functioning. We want them to be firing. So if someone is trying to diagnose you with ADHD, or even a friend just being like, oh my God, you're so ADHD. Like, that was what I got a lot growing up. But yeah, what's the solution? Like, do you have a solution for me? I have the solution. This is the conversation. This is the solution. Find out what types you have. Can go through all the different symptoms. I can send you a link to a questionnaire, but it's very simple. First type is inattentive. So the person who's prone to daydreaming. Classic ADHD, hyper impulsive, has a hard time sitting still. Those are people that are going to do great on tyrosine. Those are people who are going to do great on zinc and folate and magnesium. Next type. I call it the queen because I feel like a lot of us have it, and this causes a very big discussion of what's ADHD, what's anxiety, what's OCD. So over-focused ADHD is where when you are passionate about something, you literally can't stop obsessing about it. These people need supplements that help calm down their brain and boost serotonin. Serotonin is my favorite receptor. Saffron is my favorite solution for that. Next is anxious ADHD. And as you can imagine, what's ADHD, what's anxiety? Again, we're looking at the brain and we're looking at nutritional deficiencies and we're looking at how past concussions have impacted your unique brain. Really doesn't matter. Things like GABA, things like taurine, so helpful. These are the people who do really well with yoga and feel like yoga and meditation literally heal their ADHD. This is why. It's because they have that anxious type and they need more natural GABA receptors, which you can do with supplements or things like yoga, meditation, hypnotherapy. Limbic ADHD. You have the limbic system. It's where all your feels are. It's where your motivation is. It's where your sexuality is in your brain. So a lot of people have limbic ADHD and are misdiagnosed with depression. Favorite supplement for that is called SAM-E. It's a very long, fancy word, but it's just capital SAM, like Sam, and then a lowercase e. Literally, they've done clinical trials, more effective than Wellbutrin, and targets the exact receptors that are proven to help boost function in the limbic system. I always put, like, pretty much anyone who's complaining of any issues with mood or libido, I'm always going to have them on saffron. Women with depression and low libido and hormonal issues, if they start SAM-E and saffron and make sure they get their vitamin D level to 80 as quickly as possible, like their entire life depends on it. I mean, I've had people where it's literally not even a week and they're like, holy shit, I feel like a different person. Like, I can't believe I get to feel this good all the time. Like, I can't believe I get to have this level of intimacy and like mind-blowing sex with my husband after all this time from these, little pills basically, but they're magical. And they're a short-term solution to a problem a lot of people have had for a long time. Like, we're just rebuilding the neural pathways, just like, Joe Dispenza does it in his way. But, we need supplements to balance the physical health of our brain, to heal the physical health of our brain, because I think I've seen 1 or 2 clients, and of course they were like less than 4 years old, who had never had a brain injury when we actually looked at their brain. So physical brain repair is necessary for every single human. Okay, and then temporal ADHD, so your temples right here, that's really common in what I was just talking about with like the head injury. So a lot of people with temporal ADHD have really severe mood swings. They have memory lapses. I mean, these are the people who sometimes are misdiagnosed with like schizophrenia or like delusional disorders. And it's because they've had some type of brain injury at some point that was causing low blood flow to their temporal lobes. And these are the people who they literally try like a stimulant medication for ADHD, and it's not even like 2 days before them or their spouse or their friends or their teacher immediately is like, we need to get you off this because you were like Jekyll and Hyde explosive. So these are the people who need a brain healing rehab program. Like, it's the most important thing. So, definitely GABA, saffron, taurine, tyrosine are very helpful, but really high doses of omegas, and they can even do algae if they're vegan. Phosphatidylserine, my favorite supplement in the whole world, most important supplement for boosting memory. And then these are people who desperately need to get in a hyperbaric oxygen chamber, like ASAP. Final type of ADHD, the one that I have, and so many beautiful people have, especially children and teens, is called Ring of Fire. And basically it means that your entire brain is overactive. So this is common in people who are grandchildren of alcoholics, which I am. This is common in people who did a lot of antibiotics as a child, which was the case for me. And this is also the case for people who have neuroinflammation from things like mold or heavy metal toxicity. So we have to get these people on supplements that calms every part of their brain down quickly. And so there's a couple efficient ways to do that, and I can definitely send you the link to the supplement I recommend for that. But this is, I tell people like 99% of children and teens that I work with have Ring of Fire ADHD, and they literally need this one magical supplement that has all the things to calm their brain down. And then definitely detox and figuring out what some of the other neuroinflammation things are. Definitely look to Quentin Green for that area of expertise. But those are the 7 types of ADHD. And just by watching this video all this way, you officially know more than, 99% of people on the planet. So spread the word, let people know, let them feel empowered to make decisions for themselves and their children, and to know that there are options. There are options that are natural, that are not going to cause side effects. They're not going to cause you to feel worse. And most importantly, make you lose touch with who you are. Because you're a divine being in a human body. You have a mission. You have a big mission if you somehow found me. So I'm only connected to people who literally blow up the matrix with their thoughts. So definitely share this video with someone who you feel like needs to hear it. And then the link to my ADHD course, where I do like a really deep dive into the 7 types of ADHD, is in my bio.